Using Dr. Martens plc as a case study, we can carry out the first step of the financial analysis, understanding the company. Dr. Martens is an iconic brand, recognisable to many people. The company's shares have been listed on the London Stock Exchange since January 2021, so there's a wealth of information available online. We could spend hours going over everything, considering different sources. A quick internet search will give many hits, many focusing on the most recent financial announcements of the company. For now, let's consider looking at two key sources, the company website and the most recently published annual report. We know this information has come from the company itself, so it's based on fact rather than external opinion. Do remember though, when reviewing information prepared by an organisation itself, that will often have been painted in a positive light. Most large organisations will have a corporate website dedicated to information about their business. For retail organisations, these are usually separate from their retail website. In some organisations, you'll see a link from the retail page to a page for investors. These sites or pages should provide lots of useful information for a financial analysis. If you didn't know already, these images make clear that the company sells footwear, mainly boots, with a very small proportion of their revenue coming from accessories. The company is heavily focused on one market area, footwear, so any external impact on sales in this market will have a big impact on the results of the company. Revenue is split into two categories, mainline and AMP. The AMP category is more innovative products, which account for a small part of overall revenue, but they're still within the market area of footwear. So we know what the company sells, we now need to try and understand more about the customers. Who and where are they? I'm able to find some information about the regions Dr. Martens sell in. There are three: EMEA, Europe, Middle East and Africa, the Americas, and APAC, Asia Pacific. Knowing this could be helpful, since external factors in these regions may impact on the company's results. The company also split their revenue by channel, the main split being whether products are sold direct to the consumer or to wholesale customers. This information could also be key. It's likely that product will be sold to wholesale customers at lower prices than directly to consumers. Therefore, the mix of sales could impact on the results of the company. Moving on from the customers and revenue, we can try to find some information on suppliers and perhaps costs. The company needs many suppliers to bring their product to market, from the suppliers of raw materials to the distributors of finished products. With a little hunting around, I discovered that the company manufactures their products in 9 countries and sells them in over 60 countries throughout the regions. This information is useful as this could help us to understand how external factors in these countries may affect costs and business success. Something else to investigate when getting to know an organisation is who are its competitors. As we've seen, Dr. Martens sell in a very specific market. While no other manufacturer makes an identical product, competition would come from other footwear retailers. Fashion trends would also impact on sales made by Dr. Martens. As with many businesses, Dr. Martens highlights the importance of sustainability to what it does. The company has a framework to ensure they only use materials which are produced responsibly using environmentally and socially sustained practices. One of their main materials is leather. Dr. Martens give a lot of information about the leather they use, which meets its sustainability criteria. It also mentions using reclaimed leather. The company is also looking to improve the life cycle of its products by improving the options to repair and resell product. Dr. Martens gives information on the recyclability of its packaging and its aims to stop using any which are non-recyclable. There is extensive information on their suppliers. Dr. Martens source their products carefully from throughout the world. They like to have long-term relationships with their suppliers and treat them fairly. The company is also trying to ensure all electricity it uses comes from renewable sources. Dr. Martens also talk about perks for employees to support their well-being. Taking all this into account, we might start to think about the effect this would have on costs. We now have some background knowledge about the company which will help us when we look at more in-depth financial analysis.